We're back, folks. Welcome back to the Losers Lounge podcast. It's been several months, and a big part of that was due to the fact that I had practically no internet for the entirety of October. Yeah, that was crazy, folks. There was a long time where I had no internet, and I have a new system now. I have joined up with Starlink, and for the record, no, that does not mean I endorse Elon Musk join up with Donald Trump. New president-elect Donald Trump. But anyway, that's the only time you'll get to hear that mention. In the meantime, time to move on. It's been a while, so bear with me on this. I'm just kidding. I know exactly what to do. I've been doing this shit for years. But ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back two-time Losers Lounge Member of the Year, Optimistic Hall of Famer, the heelest of ballers.
So that's not fake for real, folks. That's real because I'm running on 3 hours of freaking sleep. I had to wake up at 6 in the morning. Actually, screw that. I woke up at 5-ish in the morning to take my brother to the bus, and I did not sleep a lick last night at all. So if I fall asleep during this podcast, these gentlemen will know, and you guys will also know. But it feels great to be back on the podcast. God, it feels like we've been gone for such a long time. But yeah, I'm ready to talk AEW Full Gear, and I'm ready to get into it. It's actually looking pretty decent, ain't gonna lie, but hopefully I won't fall asleep.
Well, I guess we know the reason why you will fall asleep. But moving forward, please welcome back our good friends who have been with us before on this podcast. First off, our good friend, Optimistic Hall of Famer, Steep.
Yo, what is up? I'm glad to be back. It has been a while. I was on here the last one. I've been on a few times this year. Full Gear is looking absolutely incredible this weekend. I hope you guys have an incredible time with the show. And it couldn't be a pay-per-view week without a Losers Lounge podcast. So here we are again. I hope you guys look forward to this. Much forward, like I'm looking forward to Saturday. And yeah, everyone enjoy the show.
Yep. And also, ladies and gentlemen, Optimistic Hall of Famer, our good friend, Kayshawn.
Yo, what's going on? You already know who I am. I'm the dude that's bad to the bone. I got swagger like Luke Combs. I have the right hand of John Jones, and I got trombone-sized stones like John Holmes. And you know what? I'm glad to be back here and talk some wrestling because soon enough, we're going to fucking war. That's right, we're going to be locked in a cage. 2 rings, 1 cage. 1 team goes in, 1 team vanquishes in the art of war. That's right. We are talking about motherfucking war games.
But that's next week, dude.
Hey, it's still war games. So my point still counts.
But yeah, but we're not talking. Never mind. It's good to have you here anyway.
Oh, thank you.
Probably could have saved that speech for next week's podcast, but still, what am I gonna do? And of course, ladies and gentlemen, our good friend from all the way down under, our good bro, Tyler.
Hello, everyone. Oh, hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing fantastic as ever. I'm personally doing pretty all right for myself. Just been busy chilling, doing my thing, talking all the whatever on the artist formerly known as Twitter, and all that jazz. But yeah, things are looking pretty up at the minute. Been busy doing a lot of things. I mean, last month I was at PAX Australia, and it was pretty damn rad, I'd say. But yeah, we're back at talking about some wrestling, and I'm pretty excited. Although, when it comes to this show, I'm not sure about it, but we'll get there when we get there, I suppose.
I mean, look on some bright sides. You guys over in Australia, you get an AEW pay-per-view for the first time ever in 2025.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you. It's good that we're getting a pay-per-view in Brisbane. Sure, I would have preferred it to be closer to my area, sort of thing, like in Melbourne. But, you know what? You take what you can take. And, well, I probably won't be at Grand Slam Australia. I'll definitely be watching it on ESPN, as apparently they're going to be airing it here. So, yeah, that ain't too bad.
Yep, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started on talking AEW Full Gear, there's something I wanted to talk about as well. It's a very special thing. You guys know how the Losers Lounge formed back in 2017, like all the way back in 2017. The podcast didn't become the Losers Lounge podcast until 2018. But the 5 original members, myself, Hugh Balor, Reister Ryan, Kelsey, and of course Connor, just five friends hanging out, having a good time. Well, a lot of great things happened over the course of this month, and one of the greatest things happened last week. Ladies and gentlemen, it might get a little emotional for me to say this, but I am so happy to talk about the fact that our good bro, Connor Riley, is engaged to his girlfriend. This is amazing.
Woot woot.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
We send a round of applause for our good bro, Connor Riley. He's not been on the podcast for a couple years because he's been moving on with other stuff in life. But I've known him since 2017, and I've seen him at his highest, I've seen him at his lowest. There's a lot of points where he just wasn't in the good place in life and didn't want to keep on going. But he kept on going, using the power of optimism, thinking optimistically. And as time went on, he also, as he said, he's found God. Because, he's got a close relationship to God now, which has helped him with his mentality and a lot of other things. And oddly enough, he met his girlfriend of 2 years now, 2.5 years, almost 3 years, at the church where he's at. So, when I saw online that he had actually proposed to her last week, I gotta say, I was overwhelmed with emotion because I'm so proud of my brother. I'm so proud of my fellow loser. And of course, we could not begin this Losers Lounge podcast without bringing this up because this is one of the greatest things ever. 1 down, 4 to go. Assuming you guys don't already know about me, which you don't. You probably never will. Yeah, that's fine though. But I want to let everybody know I spoke with Connor, and he told me he gave me permission to give this shout out on the podcast. I wanted to make sure it was alright with him. But yeah, one last time, folks, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations, Connor, on your engagement, and I hope you have a fantastic life of endless happiness, bro, because we're all here for you. We love you, and congratulations.
Yeah!
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to move on to AEW Full Gear. We don't normally do this, but we're going to start things off by talking something that's going down on the pre-show. And the only reason we're doing this is, I'm going to be perfectly honest, I've not been keeping up that much with AEW lately. And as far as I've been listening, this is one of the only things I've really heard about. It's a match on the kickoff with QT Marshall, the guy that once got squashed by Big Show in 5 minutes at the All Out event I was at in 2021. Going up against Big Boom AJ. Big Boom AJ. From a group known as the Costco guys. If you guys don't know who they are, don't worry, I don't either. But I've heard they're popular on TikTok and sometimes YouTube. I don't know what the hell they're famous for, but I guess it's hanging out in Costco and saying boom all the time. That's about it. That's all I can really say about that. But they're wrestling on a pay-per-view. I mean, sure, it's on the pre-show, the 0-hour pre-show, but the fact that they get this guy's Big Boom AJ, he actually used to be a wrestler. I looked him up for a little bit. He actually was a wrestler from what the frick was it? Whatever the case, from the 1990s, somewhere in the 90s up until 2005. But he wrestled under the name The American Power Child, Eric Justice. And oddly enough, he named his son, who's known as Big Justice, Eric. So he named it after the gimmick. This must be his big comeback to wrestling then. Although I'm it's his big comeback to wrestling, but I'll be honest, I don't get the whole appeal of these Costco dudes. I mean, I know what Costco is. I don't have a membership, but my brother does. They recently opened up a Costco about 10 minutes away from me recently, so that's cool. But I just don't get the appeal of these guys. I mean, to the point where they're actually having a pay-per-view match. I mean, technically not really a pay-per-view match, but I think it's a good thing this isn't a pay-per-view match. I don't really think I want to pay to watch this weird celebrity.
The fuck?
I don't. Yeah, that's the fuck. That's the best way to describe things. The fuck.
What'd you say his name was again? Big Boom AJ?
Yeah, Big Boom AJ. I mean, Big Boom is in quotations.
That sounds like, oh my god, that sounds like sounds like son AJ Styles will be known if he gained weight since he's a boomer. I already know. Will, Steve, I already know that our buddy Antoine, he's listening to this, and I know he's gonna want to kill me now. If he gets his hands on me, it's been nice knowing you.
Okay, that's crazy.
This motherfucker's gonna kill me when he finds me.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
So the whole deal with QT Marshall, what the hell how's this guy still around?
Like, I thought I heard something that he was supposed to go to WWE or something, but he resigned or some shit. I have no clue why QT is still with WWE, considering his close connections and with his training school. But
fucking Kevin James looking ass.
I also made the biggest mistake of looking up the Costco guys and actually listening to that single they released, "We Bring the Boom," and I was like, "Oh my god, that shit is terrible."
What? It's like one of the cheesiest songs I've heard. And here's the thing: I'm someone who's on TikTok on the regular, posting videos, sort of thing. I have seen a lot of the Costco guys stuff, and you know it's all right for what it is, for sure. And I get the hustle of wanting to do the match, like wanting to get back into the ring for one more match, being like, yeah, I can still do this, that kind of thing. But against someone like QT, that's a bit of an interesting choice. I can see why they did it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get the appeal of that, but hey, you know what? It is what it is. And thankfully, I guess it's kind of a win or a boom that they put this match on the pre-show where you don't have to pay for that shit.
Yeah, plus, I mean, I imagine most people on TikTok wouldn't want to pay to see the match, so there you go. I mean, I imagine they'll probably stream it on TikTok, so there's that. Yeah.
Not to mention, of course, I don't get the whole appeal of, promoting the 7-year-old kid called the Rizzler.
The what?
The Rizzler.
Yeah, that's the name he's going by, the Rizzler. I don't get it either.
Okay, here's the thing. This I might just be old fashioned and everything. What the hell does the Rizzler mean?
The Rizzler? It sounds like the one slur from freaking that one freaking whatever that movie was called. Some of the ones. The Lorax. Thank you. The Lorax. Get the shit. I don't do any of that shit, but still, some of the freaking Lorax from the one. I don't freaking know what kind of is the. I don't know, man. I'm
basically
I'm 23 and I don't understand these modern terms.
Riz is basically the ability to woo someone over.
And they put that on a 7-year-old?
Oh, my freak can get. I'm not gonna say anything.
Somebody needs to get help.
And plus the Rizzler, it just sounds like the Riddler, but instead of leaving riddles, he just leaves these stupid ass pickup lines at his fucking crime scenes.
Yeah, I'll be honest. If perhaps this person was I don't know, 18, over 18 or something like that, that could be a really interesting character actually.
Oh my god!
Some sort of super villain role, but
is needed right now.
Yes, I don't get the whole appeal of what they're doing. So they're saying they're calling a 7-year-old the Rizzler, who's apparently, and that whole deal, I guess, as you said, is the ability to woo people. I'm like, you're talking about a 7-year-old wooing women here. Where are we going with this? Consider this is a pre-show match thing. I'm just gonna say, I guess Big Boom AJ is gonna win this shit.
Oh my god,
that's fucking probably gonna be the best way to put it. I think because of the way they're doing this sort of thing and celebrity match, celebrity normally would go over. So, yeah, AJ's winning it.
Oh my God, these fucking names. I'm looking over the Costco guys. Oh my God, what are these names?
Some people, here's the thing, there are some people where you even say one negative thing about them and they lose their shit on you. But then again, people lose their shit over anybody these days.
You've been on Twitter or X for how many years, Christian?
Since 2011, so 13 years.
Exactly. Well, there you go.
Yeah. At this point, though, I think a lot of that is sarcastic hatred these days, though. But when it comes to like the Costco guys, because I bet even they're like, they are cringe. That's supposed to be the point. I'm like, well, keep your cringe off my wrestling. Anyway, though, shall we
I
actually
don't understand TikTok at
shall we
times.
actually talk about the matches that are actually on the pay-per-view and actually matter?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some big matches here.
Yep. We got
Yeah, we do.
8 matches to talk about for the main show, and oddly enough, get this, there's 4 non-title matches and 4 title matches, so we're even.
Yep.
The only thing
Yep.
the only thing we're not even of is the fact that there's only 1 women's match.
Boo.
And people want to claim WWE is not booking women properly. Anyways, though, we're going to go and start with the non-title matches as we usually do. The first one, let's kick things off by talking about something that we actually have already seen, but is definitely going to be an interesting rematch. That's Hangman Adam Page versus Switchblade Jay White. These two men faced off at Wrestle Dream in a pretty chaotic match, and that was really good. Switchblade, I believe, is the one who got away with the win, and that was a good way to open up the show. Has me thinking, they going to open up the show again?
They could.
They very well could.
Always a possibility.
You put Jay White, you put Hangman Adam Page, and yeah, here's the thing. This was put in place after Jay White beat Hangman Page at Wrestle Dream. Then the following week on Collision, they decided we're going to do another one. But however, as you know, Jay White had countered... sorry, I'm talking about their match at Wrestle Dream. Switchblade Jay White had countered like a buckshot lariat to get the win with a Blade Runner. And I'll be honest, I didn't think it was going to win at the time, nor was he going to win clean, but he did. And now we have a rematch. I guess they were just that damn good to the point where we're just going to warrant a rematch. I've not kept up much with AEW, but hey, I'm not complaining about this because that first match was a banger. I'm totally down for a sequel. You know me, I'm a sucker for a good sequel.
There you go.
Yep. So Willie, I'll start with you. Your thoughts on Jay White versus Hangman Page?
Their first match was really entertaining. Big fan of Hangman Page. You know, his whole thing, you know, his whole shtick with Swerve was really entertaining. I will give this to Switchblade Jay White. He's really come into his own, and could be a future, I don't know, future world champ. I don't freaking know, honestly. You know, I personally get the hype of Jay White, but that's just me. Since Jay White won the last one, I'm going to go with Hangman Page. That's because I'm a big Hangman Page fan, obviously, but I think he can get the win of the rubber match down the road. So I'm going to go with cowboy shit, or I guess crazy shit now he is. Hangman Adam Page to beat Jay White.
Yeah. Oddly enough, at last year's Full Gear, Jay White was in the main event for the world title. And unfortunately, one of the worst title matches I've ever seen.
Yeah, please don't remind me about the almost burial of Jay White.
Yeah, well, thankfully, the key word is almost.
Yeah.
Tyler, you're next. What are your thoughts on Jay White versus Hangman Page?
So, I'm going to make this clear to everyone. Since on London, I haven't kept up with AEW as much as I should have, sort of thing, but I do keep up with it from time to time. And what I will say is that Jay White, over the last few, since his debut in AEW, he's been doing okay for himself, but he hasn't really felt like the Switchblade of old, if that's the best way to put it. And I get that's some people may consider that a good thing. You're evolving this sort of character sort of thing, but I don't know, just something has felt off about Jay White over the last few months sort of thing. Now, as for Hangman's going insane. Like, You want to talk about cowboy shit? He is literally the craziest cowboy on the face of this earth at this point. Like, you do not want to mess with Hangman Page, and I think Jay White has very much... He's not going to do well against Hangman here. I mean, obviously the match has your typical standard rule set sort of thing, but you know the match is going to get chaotic quick, and, well, as you guys have said, I do see Hangman winning here. I mean, if Jay White won the previous and you're doing a rematch, then makes sense to give the second encounter to Hangman. And then if you want to, you could do a third encounter for either Winter is Coming or World's End. But very much, I do see Hangman winning this.
All right. Okay, Sean, what's your thoughts on Jay White versus Hangman Page?
Well, I saw bits and pieces of their first encounter but I still have yet to finish it. But from what I saw, it was tight. It was tight. It was dope. And for this, because he's my homeboy, I would go with Jay White. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say because I really don't know what else to say about this match other than Adam Cole. I mean Adam Cole. He's not even in this match. But fuck, it's a whole other Adam. There's too many Adams here. But Adam Page, let's say he's pretty much lost his goddamn mind.
Yep.
And he could win. He could win by doing some psychopathic shit. But I just have a gut feeling that fucking Jay White is gonna come out on top.
All right. And yeah, you're right. There are a lot of Adams. Page, Cole, Copeland.
I'm saying you put all the Adams together, and you just got a big ass Adam bomb.
Don't forget Apple.
Hardy har.
I mean,
Right.
At least you could make a decent triple threat with those three, if you want.
Yeah.
The Adam Battle Royal or some shit. The Adam Invitation. Bring in every wrestler named Adam for just one Battle Royal. Just call it the Adam Invitational.
Yeah.
Whoever wins is the one true Adam, and the rest have to change their names.
All right. It's hosted by Adam Sandler.
Oh god, he's gonna make
promotes
some
a new
weird-ass
Happy
noises.
Gilmore.
He's gonna make some weird ass fucking noises.
Yeah. And also finally, Steve, your thoughts on Jay White versus Hangman Page.
Well, I'm loving how their feud has been going, absolutely. My pick at the end of this, Hangman could use his win back because of Jay White winning. But, however, I'm two ways about that because Hangman is absolutely my pick. However, I wouldn't be against the idea of Jay White playing my games to the point where Hangman is the cause of his own demise and he causes himself to lose. With Jay White getting the win again, you could do something where Hangman goes absolutely insane trying to get to Jay White, have him do something similar what he did to Swerve, destroy Jay White's property, burn his house down or whatever. And I think that while yes, Hangman will win this and there will be a rubber match, I would honestly prefer the idea of Jay White playing my games with Hangman to the point where Hangman is the cause of his own demise and downfall, and he goes insane trying to get his win back. And you do some type of story where week by week we just see, more vignettes of just Hangman loses his mind. But I do think for story reasons and the way they're going, Hangman will win this match. But I prefer Jay White to win, and they do a storyline where Hangman just goes even more ballistic than he already is.
All right. We mentioned Happy Gilmore. Speaking of Happy Gilmore 2, our next match is MJF versus Roderick Strong. And I said speaking of because MJF he's going to be part of the new Happy Gilmore movie.
I mean, good for Netflix, I suppose.
Good for them, I guess. Yeah. I mean, Netflix is getting a lot of crazy shit these days. More recently, the Mike Tyson fight. Ha!
Which most people didn't even get a chance to see because the stream was going all fuck shit.
Hey, I didn't have a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was lucky enough where I didn't have any
I
buffering.
already knew what was gonna happen.
Yep. Anyways, MJF is taking on Roderick Strong. This is hardly controversial and everything because, I'm not gonna lie, I don't like this, and the reason I say I don't like it is because MJF is doing his shit again, the same old crap that he's done before. At Wrestle Dream, Adam Cole finally returned from his long-time injuries. Finally came back to exact revenge on MJF. So Adam Cole challenged MJF, who said no. MJF said, like, I'm not going to be facing you. I did lay out, but he was doing this whole thing where he lays out terms for a match. Once again, hey, you only get to face me if you do this. It's the same thing he did with Cody Rhodes, the same thing he did with Jericho,
so fucking sick of that shit.
the same thing he did with whoever the fuck else, CM Punk, and a lot of other shit. And I'm like, at this point,
Chris Jericho.
yeah, I'm like, at this point, I'm like, can we stop with this already? He also did the same with
I'm
Wardlow.
so fucking sick of that shit.
Yeah, he does the same shit over and over. It's always, no, you don't get to face me unless you do this. In this case, he sets up some sort of weird ass little tournament with Roderick Strong, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, and Adam Cole, saying like, whoever wins 3 matches first will face me at Full Gear. I'm like, what the actual fuck? I'm like, at this point, I'm like, Tony Khan, are you in charge or are you not in charge? Well, who the hell's in charge here? I think the point is like, it's like rehashing the same stuff over and over is just going to make things worse and worse as time goes on. The only way they could ever make this thing even worth anything is MJF had to bring up Roderick Strong's parent situation, which we're not going to repeat on here.
Yeah, that is a line you do not cross. And he really did cross that line. I'm surprised how Warner's didn't even were like, yeah, no, we don't want to air that.
Yeah, oddly enough though, that's the only way that could ever get this thing actually rolling. Because aside from that, it's the same old crap. Why the hell are we delaying MJF to fight Adam Cole again? Because here's the thing. This whole thing, they faced off in the main event of the first All in London. Then they became, on the same night, they were tag team champions from Ring of Honor. Adam Cole got hurt. Then they did the whole Devil storyline, which was one of the biggest fails they've ever done. And a lot of that, unfortunately, had to do with Adam Cole's injuries. And MJF also having injuries.
Adam.
Then they did the whole big reveal at World's End last December, folks. Then after that, nothing happened up until Double or Nothing. Where, hey, I'm here. And then, boom, beat up. Gone again for several more months. Hey, I'm back again. And now this again. And now that again. And now, nope, we're not going to face off. I'm like, this has gone on far too long.
Rivalry.
This has gone on far too long. And the whole deal with MJF always laying down conditions for facing him in a match. Bruh, you're not as big a deal as you were years ago.
Oh, God,
You're not even main event. You're just mid-card. Low card at best at this point.
Oh,
What
God,
happened
you remember that one stipulation that he gave to Jericho if he wanted to face him? What was it like?
Damn.
Like you had to fucking win with a fucking or like a fucking high flying maneuver or some shit, something stupid like that.
I mean, there was also the whole deal with Cody Rhodes saying like you have to take 10 lashes. I'm like, why?
Yeah, I really, at this point, I'm like, yeah, Max, you need to change it up somehow.
This is really not
the
working
shtick's getting
anymore.
old.
Yeah, this is really not working out. Because when you hear the same stuff over and over again, where MJF says you have to do this, you gotta do that, and then you can face me. And the worst part about it is all his rivals, they're like, okay, I'll go through with this. If I wanted to fight someone, but they said, nope, you have to do this first, I'm like, on second thought, you're not that big a deal. I'm out of here. Bye. I'm like,
Yeah.
It's not that good. It's not good. It's stupid. It is shit. It's part of why I think AEW is dying.
Yeah.
Quote me on that, will ya?
Yeah, they're just unoriginal at best at this point with this storytelling. Just come up with some. I thought you were supposed to be doing like a full reset of the booking after Wrestle Dream.
Not to mention, of course, like, Full Gear is one of AEW's, quote, big four pay-per-views. And yes, they are. No matter how much people want to say they're not, they are. AEW's got their big four like WWE's got their big four. It's Revolution, Double or Nothing, All Out, and Full Gear. All In, on the other hand, is a different story. That's like their top priority or shit like that.
All In's like the biggest, big five.
Something like that. Regardless, though, why the hell we have an MJF fight Roderick Strong? Oh, he managed to get 3 matches first. Okay, but isn't the feud supposed to be MJF and Adam Cole? Yeah. So why are we having this happen? Because... yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if Vince Russo was booking this shit.
Nah, Vince Russo would have booked a better thing. This is Tony Khan booking.
Bro, for this next one, bro, I swear to God, this is gonna be Brit. Where you all going? God damn it! I'm so glad that Brian Zane came up with that.
Indeed.
Shout out to you, Brian.
Hey, Sean, though, I will ask you, what's your thoughts on MJF versus Roderick Strong?
Oh, boy.
In the MJF versus Adam Cole rivalry.
Oh, boy. Not a lot of Adam Cole in this rivalry. No real issue of his own, but oh boy, this has just not been that good of a rivalry. My goodness. For this one, I don't even, to be honest, I don't even know what the parent situation was. I'll look into it later, but knowing MJF is probably son fucked up. This fucking Neville from R. Carly looking motherfucker, he would say something fucked up. But jeez, man, I don't even know what else to really say. But Roderick Strong will rue the day, I guess. I guess MJF wins, I guess, until Adam Cole does something. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't blame you on that. I'm guessing they're gonna set things up to MJF's gonna fight Adam Cole at World's End or something. Because, that's where this whole thing where Adam Cole revealed he was the devil all along started. This is honestly almost as crazy as when they kept delaying Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee to the point where it was too late and then they couldn't do it because Keith Lee is now indefinitely out of action. That's the thing. You don't delay shit for the sake of delaying shit. When you delay shit, we should at least know what the destination is. And when you're in a place where, okay, the feud is hot, the feud is on fire right now, it's time to fight, you don't hold it off for like another 3 months. Anyway, continue. We're gonna focus once again on this MJF Roderick Strong match. Steve, I'm getting your thoughts on this.
Let's see, MJF and Roderick. Judging by how things are going, Roderick had his thing going with MJF, and obviously, they both came back at the same show with Adam Cole as well, and we saw that one time on Dynamite where Roderick said, not only does Adam want him, he wants him as well. And then, Adam's kind of really siding with, Roderick and Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. And, where I'm getting with that is Roderick's obviously going to have, his crew with them. I expect there to be somewhere in the match a ref bump. And then MJF is just going to get surrounded by Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, Roderick, and Adam Cole. And there was that one, where they threw the challenge out. MJF was on the phone with someone. Now, there's a lot of speculation on who that said individual could be, who those said individuals can be. So what I think is going to happen is, while yes, Roderick's going to think he has the upper hand because he's going to have, his stable with them alongside Adam, I do think MJF is going to have backup, and I do think that MJF is going to be the one coming out of victorious in this, because I really think the plan that Roderick and Adam Cole have going into this, we're going to gang up on MJF, we're going to get him. We all want a piece of him. He's this and that. I think MJF is prepared going into this. He's a master manipulator. He knows how to play his money. He knows how to get people to work for him. We've seen that in his career. So I do think MJF is going into this, with full intelligence, knowing what he is doing. So yeah, I have MJF winning due to he's not going in this alone. He knows better to do that.
Ready.
Dude.
Heel Balor, what's your thoughts on MJF versus Roderick Strong?
I think, Steve hit the nail on the head right there. MJF is a master manipulator. He is a opportunist who will strike when the iron is hot, when things get a little bit rough. And I do think he has a ace up his sleeve. I don't know what it would be. Maybe Wardlow, maybe somebody else. I'm freaking out. All I know is that I do have MJF win this match. That's pretty much how I see it. I do think Adam Cole will do something weird, but I have MJF winning this match. Maybe Kyle O'Reilly gets involved too, that little segment with Adam and Kyle O'Reilly. But, MJF is winning regardless.
Tyler, you're last. Your thoughts on MJF Roderick Strong?
Oh, boy, I'll tell you. So, there is nothing interesting going on with this story. Like, absolutely nothing. Having said that, the match itself that we're going to be seeing, Max versus Roddy, it's going to be okay. Like, look, I guarantee there's going to be a lot of interference and that kind of thing, but I hate to say it, but I do see MJF winning, but I don't see him winning clean. I see him doing some kind of dirty trick in order to win. Probably a dick kick. But absolutely this is leading to Adam Cole facing him at World's End, but for the love of God, let World's End be the end of the feud, because at this point, there's not much you can go from here. Just end the feud at World's End, let them go their separate ways, and build Cole back up to the main event scene, whereas just throw Max into the low card. Simple as that.
I wouldn't throw MJF into the low card because he's honestly one of their top stars, but I do agree on putting Adam Cole rising up into an actual big title situation, and hopefully Adam Cole will actually do great now, and not praying that everything goes great for him and he does not suffer any more injuries, because that guy's been injury prone for the last few years, and that's sad.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on now to the next match. This is quite the match that's gonna be interesting. That is Will Ospreay taking on Kyle Fletcher. Whew. I gotta say, I'm excited for this one. Now, the match card looks for Full Gear itself looks decent, but this is one of the matches I'm looking forward to the most. Shall we start with you on your thoughts on Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher?
Well, I'm going to make this short and sweet because I literally have no fucking idea who the hell Kyle Fletcher is. I'm going to just go with Billy Goat.
Hold on a sec. You have no idea have you not know what Aussie Open is?
I know who they are. I just don't know who he is specifically.
That's all good. Regardless, though, this is actually going to be really cool, because I've seen how Kyle Fletcher wrestles, not just when he was part of Aussie Open, but when he did some singles action as well. Will Ospreay, let's be honest, right? He's really good at what he does. So, I'm just excited altogether for this to be a great match. So, and I already know we're going to deliver on that account. Steve, I'll go with you next. Your thoughts on Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher?
Now, I wasn't familiar with Kyle Fletcher going into this, but seeing Aussie Open, seeing how they are as a tag team, I've absolutely been a big fan of this. And, we saw what happened at Wrestle Dream with all that happened, and, the turn that Kyle Fletcher did on Ospreay. And, there was that thing with shaving his head, and, the Dynamite afterwards. He was calling all of us, inbred Americans and stuff like that. The whole thing that went on with the tag match. Then Ospreay had to come out and come to the rescue of Hobbs and Ricochet and all that. And I've absolutely been loving this feud. I've been loving this whole thing that's been going on. With Kyle Fletcher and the thing he has going on with Don Callis and Ospreay that broke away from that. As far as this, I definitely think Ospreay's going to come out victorious. They're both incredible talent. Kyle has been really growing on me. I like people like that, like Ospreay, like Fletcher, like Ricochet, and I definitely think that yeah, they're both great talent. They both are. I do think that Kyle Fletcher, breaking away from this thing that he was on with Aussie Open, I would definitely love to see, well, I guess you could consider this a singles run, even though he's with that stable and whatnot. But now he's definitely doing great on his own, and we've seen Ospreay kill it all year long. A lot of people say he's the face of AEW without even being a champion, without being world champion. Yeah, I have Ospreay going over on this, and I've been liking this story.
All right, Tyler, your thoughts on Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher?
Oh man, I gotta say, this whole story of the breaking apart of the United Empire, it's been an interesting one, I'd say. Like, obviously, the United Empire, 3 of the major components of that group were Ospreay, Fletcher, and Davis. And I gotta say, seeing this whole story come about, just Aussie Open having to split apart sort of thing, and Fletcher joining up with the Don Callis family, which, not gonna lie, they've consistently been one of the better factions in AEW as over the last year or so. Like, at first, they were just like, oh, they're meh, but now I'd say they've actually developed into something pretty alright. And granted, the whole, like, oh, people think I'm an Australian Will Ospreay, so I'm going to shave my head and all that. Yeah, I can see why they do that, but I don't know. It's definitely an interesting way to do things. So, well, normally I would like to go for my countrymen. I gotta have to go with Ospreay for this match. I mean, look, Ospreay, he's been doing incredible work so far, and I'd say this whole breaking apart of the United Empire story, it definitely has some legs to it, I will say. I'm intrigued to see how it furthers on, but yeah, I think Ospreay's going to take the W here and further the story to most likely a triple threat. Probably at Revolution. I don't know, but I'd see like a United Empire triple threat happening in the not too distant future.
Hugh Balor, your thoughts on Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher?
The match I'm looking forward to the most outside of one match on this card, Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher. I'm pretty new to Kyle Fletcher. But Billy Goat, that's been my guy for a long time. I'm glad he's not in the top picture anymore. I'm kind of glad he's on his own, doing his own thing. This whole thing with Kyle Fletcher's been very entertaining. I'm not going to lie to you. I have been very entertained with the whole thing, the breaking up, like Tyler said, the breaking up the United Empire, shaving of the head. I don't think this will be a one and done. I think this will be a trilogy between the two. And these two are going to put on a fantastic match and tell a great story out there. Again, for people who don't say, oh, Ospreay don't tell stories. Yes, he does. He can tell good stories. He can tell good stories in the ring and on the microphone, in my opinion. Kyle Fletcher, again, from what I've been seeing, he's been telling pretty good stories. He's been telling pretty good stories on the mic, of course, in the ring, obviously. And I think these two are going to go out there and put on a great match. And again, they're going to go out there and just kill it. And I'm going to go the opposite of everybody else. I think I'm going to get this wrong. I'm going to go with Kyle Fletcher. I think Kyle Fletcher needs this win more than Ospreay. I really do think that Kyle Fletcher could use the win more than Ospreay. Ospreay will not lose anything if he were to lose this match. He'll be completely fine. If Kyle Fletcher were to lose, he can go completely more insane. God forbid, shave his eyebrows or something like that.
And now for the final non-title match on the show. Swerve Strickland going one-on-one with Bobby Lashley. Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Lashley.
Swerve's house.
Bobby Lashley, ladies and gentlemen, has joined All Elite Wrestling in reuniting the Hurt Business, or now known as the Hurt Syndicate. Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and of course MVP. And I absolutely love that this is Bobby Lashley's first feud with Swerve Strickland. They picked a really good guy for this one. This is also the second match I'm excited for the most. And The reason for that is because Bobby Lashley is amazing at what he does. Swerve Strickland is, I'll be honest, in my opinion, Swerve Strickland's been AEW Wrestler of the Year in 2024.
Oh, yeah.
Because, that's just my opinion on it. Others will probably think, someone like Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, that sort of thing. Maybe Will Ospreay. But to me, it's Swerve Strickland. Bobby Lashley, although I won't lie, I found it so weird that, Bobby Lashley's debut match was a squash match against somebody named Cheeseburger, literally. I'm not kidding.
I knew about Cheeseburger being a thing, but I did not expect Cheeseburger to come back.
Yeah, I'm like...
Cheeseburger in years. He's good.
Yeah, he is.
I love that pineapple.
Leave me alone.
People hear the name Cheeseburger for a wrestler and they immediately think that's some sort of a joke. I'm like, no, this guy actually ain't a joke. Check out what he does. But the problem is they pitted him against Bobby Lashley, and, well, we all know how that turned out. Let's keep this going because we still have 4 other matches to talk about after this. So, Tyler, I'll start with you. Your thoughts on Swerve Strickland versus Bobby Lashley.
Oh, baby. I'm excited about this match. Big Bob versus Swerve. I'll tell you, when I found out that Bobby Lashley was joining AEW, I was very happy. And the whole Hurt Syndicate, it's so good to see them back together. Of course, in case any of you are wondering, no, Cedric is not a part of this group. He's busy in NXT. But don't worry about it.
For now.
For now. But still, I'm enjoying what the Hurt Syndicate has been doing at the moment, so I'm intrigued to see how it fully plays out, but for this match, look, I love Swerve. I think Swerve has been the MVP of the year when it comes to AEW, but he's going to have to take the L here, and he's going to have to put over Bobby in his full-on proper pay-per-view debut. Because, this is the kind of match where you would want the new guy coming in to win, sort of thing, especially considering how dominant of a competitor Bobby Lashley has been over the years. So, yeah, I got to give it to Bobby. Got to give it to Big Bob.
All right. Hugh Balor, your thoughts on Swerve Strickland versus Bobby Lashley?
Well, first off, it's very interesting to see Big Bob in AEW, I'm not going to lie. The Hurt Syndicate, Hurt Business, whatever you want to call them. The way they debuted, each of them, their debuts have been pretty cool. Shelton Benjamin backstage thing with MVP. Of course, MVP debuted at Arthur Ashe, and Bobby Lashley debuted 2 weeks ago. The introduction of the 3 has been very entertaining. Same old shit. Oh, the rehash and stuff. Yeah, I know. It is what it is. It's wrestling at the end of the day. I just enjoy what I like to enjoy. The presentation is pretty cool. It's been interesting. And Swerve, again, first I love Billy Goat. I do think personally Billy Goat's MVP of the year. That's just me. Ospreay, big fan of Ospreay, obviously. But Swerve, again, he is not far behind, man. He's probably my second favorite wrestler of the year. Because he's been tearing it up, man. World champ, main event at Wembley with my other favorite wrestler, Bryan Danielson. Won the AEW World Championship. He's just been on a tear this year, and it has been his year as well. And, I love Swerve and all. He's great. But I think Bobby, like Tyler said, Tyler summed everything up. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to sum it up. Bobby Lashley, I think he needs to get the big dub here. Have it be like Swerve can get his licks in, but have Bobby dominate, pun intended, dominate the match. Don't squash Swerve. No, that's not going to happen. But have Bobby go in there, rough him up. Have Swerve hit the Swerve stomp or something like that. He get kicked out of. Maybe he freaking hits the spear. Bobby Lashley's spear. I don't freaking know. All I know is that Bobby is going to win this match. So I got Big Bob.
All right. Okay, Sean, your thoughts on Lashley versus Strickland?
I gotta say, when Lashley showed up, I was like, I know, because you might call me crazy, but there's actually one dream match, well, actually 2 dream matches that I have in mind for Bobby while he's here, and like I said, y'all might call me crazy, but hear me out. One of them is a match with Wardlow, and the second, a match with Lance Archer.
Ooh.
That's not crazy. Those would be fun. How do you?
Like for real, I would love to see that. I would love to see those two go at it, especially his match with fucking Wardlow, because those two, with how big they are and how versatile they can be, they could easily go for like 20 minutes. 20 minutes to have a good match.
And 19 of them will be filled with meat chants.
Yeah. But as far as who I want to win, I mean, it's pretty obvious. I'm going with Bobby because he literally just got here. This is his debut pay-per-view match for AEW. So it wouldn't make sense for him to lose. Swerve, I like you, but yeah, you're gonna have to put Bobby over on this one, Chief.
Yep. And Steve, your thoughts on Swerve Strickland versus Bobby Lashley?
I gotta say, I won't say I'm more so surprised that Bobby's here. It was definitely something that I wasn't expecting because when he exited his way out of WWE, I heard rumblings of he was going back to the fighting realm. You know, he wanted to fight on the KSI Logan promotion Misfits that they run over in the UK, and I just wasn't expecting him to still be a part of wrestling and anything. I honestly thought Bobby would like maybe go into acting or something because that's something he talked about a lot. He wanted to go back into the fighting realm outside of wrestling. So I'm glad that he's here and that he's still in part of it. I've been liking the presentation, loving how they've been really showing all the people that have showed up with Shelton, with MVP, with Bobby and all that. And yes, considering this is his pay-per-view debut and you don't want to derail any momentum, Bobby should absolutely go over. And I don't think it's going to hurt Swerve losing here. He's been having a better year than a lot of people. He's absolutely been on top of his game. He's really been doing a lot, especially with Nana. Is like with Swerve, he's always going to be a part of something, and we see it for the better part of this year. He's been in major storylines. He's really been the talk of the town when it comes to his run in AEW. So yeah, I definitely have Bobby going over on this one.
All right. Whew. Yeah, I personally believe Swerve Strickland might actually take this one, but at the same time, Bobby Lashley could do it as well. So that's why this is a tough match for me to call. So I'm just going to enjoy it as is. In the meantime, folks, it's time to move on to the championship matches. We got the first one. So the AEW TBS Championship as Mercedes Moné will defeat Chris Statlander.
Sadly.
Unfortunately, homestay girl stat from my city, from my state.
First ever AEW crush, along with the car show.
That's my Long Island girl. Love you, Stat.
We love Mommy Stat.
Yes, we're from the same state.
Yep.
It was nice knowing you. Yeah, the only thing I gotta say is overpush Mercedes Moné, who, let's be honest, has not been as big a deal as she had claimed, as I knew from the start. Because the whole deal about...
We've been saying this for years.
Here's the thing. People can go ahead and call me a hater all you want at this point. It's fine. The thing is, nobody can say they, quote, know their worth. Because that's not up to you. If Mercedes Moné claims she was like a huge deal, deserve to get paid as much as the likes of Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. Unfortunately, their popularity, here's the thing, social media popularity isn't as big as you might think it is. She has not been a big deal at all in AEW. She's been overpushed to the moon because unfortunately she has creative control over what she does. Thus, in her debut match, she won a championship. And then at the next pay-per-view, she won a second championship. She's still that double champion today. The problem with... another big problem, of course, is her damn backpack finisher. You know, the one where she lifts them up like a backpack, turns around and misses them every single time. And, of course, people would respond with, well, I'd like to see you try to do that. I'll be like, if I were Mercedes, I would realize this is not working and I'd go for something else. Because...
obviously, you want to try something different, but... not to the point where it's like, oh, I can't really hit it.
Yeah. Mercedes Moné is absolutely overpushed as if she's supposed to be the big face of the division when she is honestly one of the worst females on the roster. No disrespect.
Yeah,
That's just my
like,
personal
if you wanna
opinion
talk
on it,
about
folks.
face of the
You got more
division,
respect than me. You got more
Like-
respect than me.
well,
Yeah.
if you're talking face of the division, I wouldn't really put Monet as the face of the women's division. I'd actually put either Mariah or Tony as the faces of the women's division. But, well,
Love you,
Tony's
Matt.
currently... Oh, Tony's gone, and Mariah, well, Mariah's having some kind of championship ceremony, but that's a segment. We don't need to worry about that.
Yeah, we don't need to worry about that. Yeah, but the thing,
Yeah.
of course, is, like, here's the thing. The worst part about this is, like, it's okay to, like, you know, say that you want to be, like, the top in the division and everything, and when you're given the reins for it, well, hopefully you can ride. But with all due respect, it's like Mercedes was a lot more valuable as Sasha Banks than she ever would have been as Monet.
And less toxic for a little bit.
I mean, here's the thing. A lot of her segments lately, even as a heel, have not been getting boos. They've been getting crickets. And when she's starting to get no reactions now. And when you're reeling toward that area, that's when you're doing something wrong, and it has nothing to do with you being a heel. Because if you're being a heel, the fans are supposed to boo you loudly. And if that's happening, you're doing your job correctly. But if you're getting, like, no reaction, if you're, like, carrying Cross on a weekly basis, then, yeah, something is wrong here.
Hey now. Hey now.
Am I lying?
I mean, her segments are basically now the piss break segments, sadly.
She's definitely no CEO. And if she was a CEO, that place definitely would have gone out of business a long time ago.
Yeah,
That's like Black.
clearly Warner's are propping them up, but that ain't gonna help for long.
Yep. But the thing is, I don't see Chris Statlander winning the TBS title. I think it's just going to be another Mercedes win, and we move on to the next one. Heel Balor, do you by any chance have anything to say about this?
I'll just give my answer. I mean, I'm a big, along with my right-hand man, Steve, we're big Chris Statlander
Don't
fans.
say girl.
First AEW crush. Well, along with Sheeta. I don't know which one came first, but still, we're big Statlander fans, and I guess I'll speak for him if you want to, chime in right-hand man if you want to. This is our fave.
We're both from the Big Apple, Long Island to Manhattan.
We love Statlander, and I'm not from New York, but still, me and Steve share big fave for Statlander, and we really want her to win.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to happen, sadly. It's going to fall flat. I don't mind Sasha. Her reign is shit, but I don't mind Sasha. It hasn't been the best reign. Hell, it flat out sucks. It does. And but I will say, again, you can me if you want to, right hand man. Statlander, she deserves a little bit better than she's been given. I want her in the women's title picture. I really want her and Mariah. I want Mariah to defend her fucking title on this fucking show, but what do I know? Anyways, god damn it, AEW. I love you, but god damn you can't put a freaking women's championship on the line. I'm excited about that segment, though. I'm expecting something to happen. Probably Tony Storm showing up. I don't freaking know. Apparently she's retiring, quote unquote. Sure she is. Okay. But I'm looking forward. I think it'll be fun, but yeah, sadly, Sasha's going to win. And I do think the person to beat Sasha for the right-hand man, Steve, and I want him to have this as his fave, Camille. I think Camille's the one that's going to be, hopefully, maybe I'm wrong, but I hope that Camille's the one that beats Mercedes, Sasha, whatever you want to call her, and end this reign. So,
we're basically pulling the whole thing again with the whole Tony Storm got dethroned by the, conveniently enough, Mariah May, the person that she was with. Now the same thing's going to happen to Mercedes?
Yes.
Well, that would be something we could see miles away.
There you go.
Steve, since you were also being on the talk of things for this, I'll let you chime in as well.
Well, you've heard me say multiple times, so I'm mistaken. I absolutely love Statlander. I love the fact that me and her are literally, yes, sir, me and her are literally cities apart from each other from where we're both from. And I want her to get better. She should be in the women's title picture. I want her to beat Mariah. And it's no secret that Mercedes is obviously winning this, and this is gonna get a lot of backlash and stuff. I might rally up some people with this. I might personally, she can be a handful, and I don't mind her. She is over her head. She does, put herself on pedestals, like, saying, I want to be Rock, Cena, or Kenny Omega, or whatnot, She does have a big mouth on her. I think she's a great talent. If she knew her, where she belongs in the mid-lower card of, the division, then yeah, absolutely fine with that. You're just not a world championship material right now. You're doing stuff on the side with the TBS title, with that the women's Japan title that you're holding as well. And I want, as Theo Balor said, Camille has been my fave for 7 years. I love the NWA. I watch them all the time. I watched when she was the champion, and I've watched Camille since her debut, 2017, since I was 14 years old, and I absolutely love Camille. I've been waiting for this moment. Every time she's won a title, every time she's become a champion, no matter what the title was, I absolutely loved it. So my overall pick to dethrone Mercedes would be Camille. She breaks away from her, as her insurance policy type of thing, and then we get, we run them back once again with Camille and Chris Statlander, except with the title on the line, with Camille being the champion.
All right. Okay, Sean, your thoughts on Mercedes versus Chris?
Save me for last, please.
All right, then, Tyler, you're next.
All right, then. Well, obviously it's been a few months, and when it comes to my opinion on Monet, she's okay. Like, I don't have much of an overall problem, but yeah, she is definitely not main event. And keep in mind, the belt that she's holding is not main event. It's a mid-card title, but she's treating it like it's a main event level belt when isn't it supposed to be the mid-card title? The TBS title? Like, I get it. She's trying to be like, oh, I'm a main event level talent. I need the highest paid stuff. I was in Star Wars and all that, but that doesn't help with much when the fans are like, we'd rather just scroll on our phones than look at your segments. Having like the claim of having multiple action figures from multiple companies doesn't help with much in that sort of sense. And look, Monet's an alright wrestler, but is she in AEW really deserving to be main event level? Not really. Like, I wouldn't really consider her to be like that sort of main event level talent, but look, what she's doing is just, she's trying to emulate how Jade Cargill's reign was, like how long the reign is, and I don't think that's really helping much. Like, I don't think it's really helping much. Now, when it comes to Chris Statlander, I think she's been fantastic over the years, and she is so underrated, and I get her whole storyline stuff of like whatever faction number 47 or whatever. But basically, it hasn't been the best as of late, but honestly, anyone winning the belt would probably be better off than Monet. But I don't see Monet dropping the belt until either Revolution or Double or Nothing. That's when I absolutely see her losing the belt. Most likely to Camille, who has been doing all right as Monet's bodyguard. But, yeah, sadly, we're going to have to go with Monet for the victory here. Like, look, if things improve by the time we get to her losing the belt, then, yeah, maybe we can say the reign was all right at the end. But for now, yeah, not really main event. Like, mid-card at best at the moment with Monet. And I don't know if that says anything about her time in AEW, but it probably says a lot.
Uh-huh. All right. Okay, Sean, you wanted to go less? You're up next.
This woman needed creative control to be taken even slightly serious. To keep a championship that isn't even close to a fucking world women's title, bro.
Actually, now that you think about it, it's like she didn't need creative control just to be taken seriously, because when she was at Sasha Banks, she was wilding.
And let me tell you, and what pissed me off even more, I actually like Chris Statlander. I actually do. I actually really fucking like Chris Statlander. And I want her to win, but I know for a fact that she's not winning because fucking Mercedes Hogan is over here like, no, 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 you're not going over. I'm going over, and I'm telling you, to everyone there, everyone that's saying that we're being harsh, or I'm specifically and being harsh.
Hey, I take no credit for this.
She's not even top 50 if you really think about it. Not even close to the top 50, bro. But they're not ready for this conversation, though, are they? And to everyone that's saying that she's not using her creative control for her own selfish needs. And with that being said, I want Chris Statlander to win, but I know for a fucking fact that she's not. So I'm gonna go with the egomaniac. Next match, please.
Next match, please. Indeed, I agree. Next match, a fatal four-way for the AEW World Tag Team titles. There's not much to say about this because, well, each team was qualified to be in this. So this is more of just a match that we can figure out who's going to win this. The champions, Private Party. Finally, the Young Bucks are no longer champions. Defending against the Outrunners, Kings of the Black Throne, and the Acclaimed. I won't lie. That sounds like something that will be sounds like a filler match, but it'll be a nice breath of fresh air after what we just went through. So.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to lie, I don't have much to say except for who I think's going to win, so I'm just going to say Private Party is going to retain their titles, but it's going to be a killer match. So it's just something we're going to just enjoy. Tyler, I'll start with you. Your thoughts on the four-way for the tag titles.
Okay, so when it comes, and don't mind any background noise, folks, just considering the time that I'm up doing this recording, just, it is what it is. But, look, in my opinion, I loved the Bucks' reign, but I'm glad that it is over, because it is bringing a fresh spotlight to a bunch of new talent on the AEW roster, absolutely. Overall, Private Party, the OGs, one of the OG teams in the tag division, they've been fantastic. I couldn't believe they actually won the belts, not gonna lie. I thought they weren't really gonna give the belts to them, but they did. They did. They did something kind of impossible, and there we are. The Outrunners, I think the gimmick is pretty funny. I like the whole retro shtick that they're doing. And, you know what? I'm not the kind of guy who's really into, like, the retro kind of thing. But, you know what? If you like that kind of thing, Nate, that's rad. Kings of the Black Throne. So, obviously, that is House of Black, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Which members are we talking about here, just to remind myself?
I think Brody King and Buddy Matthews.
Yeah, no, it's actually
yeah.
No. It's actually Brody King and Malachi.
Oh, Buddy's busy.
Yeah.
Well,
he's got a mommy to deal with.
Yes. I mean, look, Kings of the Black Throne, House of Black, brilliant team, brilliant group. I bloody love them. So I'm glad to see them get another opportunity like this. And then we've got the Acclaimed. And to be honest, I think the Acclaimed are one of the better trios in AEW sort of thing. I think they've been really fun. And granted, lately they haven't had much as such with what they're doing, but I'm glad they're getting, like, the TV time. I'm glad they're getting all these opportunities and such like that. But keep in mind with this, I believe this is Private Party's first real defense. In fact, this is their first pay-per-view defense. So, absolutely, I think they're probably going to win it because it probably makes more sense for them to win here and keep the belts for a little while longer. But you can definitely make a case for all these teams, but I'm going to have to go Private Party.
All right. Hugh Baylor, your thoughts on the four-way for the tag titles?
As much as I do love the Acclaimed, I know they're not picking up the tag titles. As much as I do like the Kings and the Black. Yeah, it's to be Daddy Sleepy. Yeah, baby, let's go.
The Acclaimed have arrived.
Yeah. Me and Steve love the Acclaimed. They're our fans. We love the Acclaimed. Everyone loves the Acclaimed.
Just be careful with the scissors.
That's very true. The Outsiders.
And don't run with them either.
Why the freaking heck would I run with scissors?
I don't know. You wouldn't do that. You have the impulse of doing stupid stuff.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, don't try and run with them just to make a postal reference.
Damn. Okay, that was pretty good. The Outrunners, they're all right, I guess. I mean, they're there. And Pride Party just won the tag titles. Pride Party are keeping them. I want a heel Acclaim to win them. But they're breaking up the Acclaim. Thanks, Con. But, yeah.
No, I refuse.
Don't break up the Acclaimed. Break up the Acclaimed. But they're sadly going to, no in this freaking company. I love you, AEW, but god dang it, please don't do that. The fact that Mariah's the show pisses me off. But still, anyways, I got the Pride Party winning and retaining. I want the Acclaim to win, but it's not going to happen. Anyways, go ahead.
All right, Steep, you're next.
Well, since everyone else has been plugging stuff all day, might as well do this. Max Caster has an album coming out soon that I'm very looking forward to very much. So I can't wait for that. Yes, sir. For me personally, and there's a little bias in this because I love Private Party, my home state boys. Obviously, The Acclaim, my home state boys. And it's just outside of that, I don't get the hype with the Outrunners. It looks like if Hulk Hogan had twins that were in wrestling now, and I just don't see Malachi and Brody really doing much in the tag division right now and such. I would love it for it to come down to Private Party or The Acclaim, and with one of them winning, obviously the smart answer would be to go with Private Party since they just got the tag titles. I was over the moon, one, because thank God they beat the Young Bucks, but two, they're my home state boys, and I have I really like the representation tonight from the people from my city there. Private Party, Acclaim, Statlander, Aaron Garcia. When we get to that, just had to throw that out there. But I really wanted to come down to Private Party, the Acclaim, which I think it's gonna come to, and I would prefer the Acclaim to win. However, I wouldn't be mad with Private Party retaining, and I really hope that they keep the Acclaim long enough together for the next Arthur Ashe New York show. We have since it'll be in New York, Private Party versus the Acclaim for the main event for the tag titles.
Okay, Sean, your thoughts on the 4-way for the tag team titles?
I want King of the Black Throne to win so much because I actually resonate more with them than pretty much everyone else. Pretty much more than everyone else in wrestling, more than anyone else, because their whole persona, their presentation is this whole dark, gothic, brutish shit. The whole personality. I actually resonate with them because I actually do have an emo side myself, but that's a whole different that's a whole other can of worms right there. But I know they're gonna give it to Private Party. I want Kings of Blackstone to win, but that's not gonna be the case. But me, yeah, I wanted them to win, but I know Private Party's gonna win though. No ill will towards Private Party. I like them, but I just like King of the Black Throne more.
All right. In the meantime, we're going to move on to the TNT Championship match between the champion Jack Perry defending against Daniel Garcia. And I'll be honest, Jack Perry is literally the longest reigning TNT champion of the last couple years. Because if you remember, the last few years, the most anybody would be a champion was 5 weeks or less. That was weird times. He is closing in, however, on Darby Allin's title reign as the longest reigning champion. That's assuming, of course, he gets past Daniel Garcia. And besides, wasn't Daniel Garcia rumored to go to WWE and then that didn't exactly work out?
He signed a new deal with AEW, obviously. So yeah.
Yeah.
They were to sign him.
Yep. So in other words, he gets to keep doing that weird dance.
Guess so.
All right.
I think he's done dancing. Yeah, very serious.
Currently doing it on my end.
Gross.
There you go.
All right. Honestly, though, I think Jack Perry's going to take this because they really are pushing him. And I guess that's just is what it is. I'd like to see Daniel Garcia take it, honestly. But I just got this odd feeling Jack Perry's going to keep on to it. But, Balor, I'll start with you. Your thoughts on the TNT title match.
The presentation of Daniel Garcia has been great, in my opinion, since his feud with MJF. And that's when I started to see a little bit more of this guy, and I started to warm up to him a bit more. I'm not talking about another guy I've started to warm up to a bit more when we get to the main event. And I kind of feel like I feel a little bit weird about that. But the presentation of Daniel Garcia has been very good. He's open with the fans. He's really good. Mike says are pretty good. I ain't gonna lie, they're not the best, but he's pretty good. Jack Perry, since honestly the tag titles are off the Young Bucks, I guess they're gonna slowly take titles away from the Elite. I guess there's really no use for the TNT championship now. I think it's best to give it to Daniel Garcia now. Let him run with it. Jack Perry is cool. I don't mind him, but yeah, you might as well just give the gold to Daniel Garcia and let him run with it. Let him see what he can do with it. So again, this is a big dub for Steve here, and he'll talk about it in a sec. But I'm gonna give it to Daniel Garcia to get the win. New TNT champ.
All right. Okay, Sean, your thoughts on the TNT title match?
Well, I can say, thank the Norse gods that this dude isn't dancing anymore. I'm starting to get really annoyed with his goddamn dancing. But, and I gotta say, this whole Jack Perry being the longest reigning TNT champion, not gonna lie, I forgot he was even the champion to begin with. Because I literally don't remember a single memorable match that he had when he was the champion. But as much as I hate this, something in the back of my dome is telling me, hey, you know this motherfucker's gonna retain somehow, right? And I want to go with Daniel Garcia. I really do, but something is telling me that Jack Perry is gonna retain somehow.
Steve, your thoughts on the TNT title match?
Well, my bias has shown enough already today. No seriousness. I've been absolutely impressed with both men, and that's shocking because I was growing behind Daniel Garcia for some time now. I actually think that ever since the MJF stuff, even a little bit before that, he has great promo work. He has great charisma. He's really been growing as a performer, and he's really dedicated more to his craft and all that. Jack Perry, I'm not gonna lie, ever since that whole thing that happened last year, especially the thing with earlier where he had dropped Tony Khan, I really think that he's grown as a performer, and that surprisingly he's grown on me, and I've actually been gravitating towards him as a fan. A certain someone later on that Will and I are not proud to admit we'll be speaking out later, but yeah, I didn't think that I would like Jack Perry in that manner of as a performer, but he's actually has been growing on me. But from my own personal wish, I would rather Daniel Garcia have that become the champion tonight. I would want somebody from that I'm rooting for from my home state to walk out as the champion tonight. Granted, if Private Party retains, but it's not like they're winning the tag titles at the show, but. So yeah, I can see Jack Perry retaining, because he's kind of hot right now, and you want to keep that going. But I'd give it to Garcia. He just signed a new deal. You wanna reward him for that.
All right. And Tyler, your thoughts on the TNT title match?
Yes, the Turner Network Television Championship match. Daniel Garcia, I will say, has been doing some pretty alright stuff. Granted, I don't know. He is definitely getting up there in terms of the hierarchy, I'd say, but I don't know. I'm not really sure about him. Like, he's a good wrestler, don't get me wrong. It's just, I'm not too sure when it comes to him. Now, as for Jack Perry, yeah, he's been at an interesting crossroads lately, especially now with the Elite kind of splintering off in a way, with the Bucks gone, like actually gone from TV at this point, and with Okada probably being busy getting ready for the C2. Yeah, I think Jack is kind of gonna get to that lost in the shuffle kind of situation, and I do see Jack retaining. Like, I see why they would want to get the belts off of the Elite sort of thing, but I don't know. I do see Jack Perry keeping the belt, and I mean, if Jack's gonna get lost in the shuffle, then there is always another faction that he could join up with that I have been advocating for a while. Maybe. If they actually do it, I would be so happy, but I've got a feeling that Father Jay may pay him a visit eventually. Don't know when, but I've got a feeling.
We're going to move on to the main event, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the AEW World Championship. Let's wrap things up, and this is Jon Moxley defending the title against Orange Cassidy. And if this is the main event indeed, this is not the first time these two have main evented a pay-per-view in AEW for a championship, as they main evented the 2023 All Out for the international title. Moxley won that match. So, here we are again. This time it's for the world title. I gotta tell you, I was surprised when Jon Moxley ended Bryan Danielson's career, but hey, it was about time anyway. Although I won't lie, not really a big fan of the whole plastic bag strangulation thing. Not saying it's like over the top. I mean, sure, it's over the top, but it's also kind of boring now because he was constantly doing it, and I'm like, are we gonna do this?
That just goes to show that Moxley has been playing too much manhunt.
Possibly.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, this is Jon Moxley's record 4th reign as AEW World Champion. He's a 4-time World Champion in AEW.
Where's the title of the show for it?
Face of the company?
Yeah, I'll be honest. He's been there since literal day one. If anything, he's been the heart and soul of AEW since the start. All right, well, tell you what, I'm gonna start right here with Keishan. Your thoughts on the AEW World Title main event?
All I can say is, goddamn, Mox, I really wish you got that vacation, but you're just gonna have to wait just a little bit longer. But honestly, good for you, man, because like Christian said, you're pretty much the heart and soul of this company. You have been for years, and yeah, like you said, this is his fucking 4th reign. His 4th reign as the AEW World Champion. And when you put into consideration everything he's done, I can easily see him, like, even when he loses it again, I can see him winning it back maybe two more times before he retires. But with that being said, y'all gonna call me crazy. I'm gonna be the odd man out, but I think Orange Cassidy takes it.
Wow.
Yeah, you heard me. I think Orange Cassidy takes it.
Well,
because in my opinion, next to Mox, he's the second workhorse, the second rated workhorse of AEW, right next to Mox. He's right next to him when it comes to in the terms of workhorse. So in my eyes, he really deserves it. Most people don't like him. Most people say that he's not that serious. But like, really think about this. He's been there like pretty much since the beginning, right? But even before they were on TV. And he's proved himself that he can be a good champion with the right amount of booking. He can be a good champion, a great champion, pretty much. But with me, a lot of people say that they can't take him seriously. I get that. I get that. He's not for everyone. But for me, he does have what it takes to be a good world champion. All he needs is just that one opportunity to show that he can. Like look when he was the international champion. He was a damn good champion.
Yep, he was.
So with me, he could be a great world champion. All he needs is just one chance to prove it.
Yep. All right, Steve, your thoughts on the AEW World Title match?
Well, if he wants to chime in with this as well, because it concerns the both of us, you want to say it? You want to say it? I don't have the thought to say it, dude.
I'll say it.
Okay.
Over the past few months.
Hey, Kashan, come off mute and hear this.
Yeah, come on, please. We want to hear this. Over the past few months, myself and Steve, in a lot of criticism to a certain freshly squeezed. We have given a certain opinions about a certain freshly squeezed on these past few years, and we saw the light. He's
grown on us.
He's not as bad as... I'm a fan of Orange Cassidy. There you go.
We'll go as far to say he's become my male favorite in AEW.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, he's even turned people that didn't like him into fans of him.
I will say that he's really won me over. He really has shown a lot of emotion the past couple of weeks. He really he can be a contender for the world title and possibly even win it.
Yes.
I would say he can absolutely carry a company, and his character isn't as bad as I thought it was once I understood it. That pains me to say how wrong I was, but yes, you've grown on me, Orange. I'm feeling the freshly squeezed. That was the wrong way to word it, but yes, as far as this, Moxley, I absolutely, didn't need the title back, and but this whole thing with Danielson at Wrestle Dream, I do think Danielson is going part-time rather than actually, retiring fully. But as far as this, I don't think Mox needs the title any longer. I don't know if it's too early to even take it off of him yet, but I'd rather he not be champion much further. So I'd rather Orange win now, because Mox absolutely didn't need the title, but considering what the BCC has been doing, and because they're running Ref House on everybody, attacking the roster, pretty much being a group together, they're absolutely going to get involved. Obviously, Orange Cassidy has his side of the locker room behind him. I have Mox winning logically, but I'd rather he not be champion further, so I want Orange Cassidy to win.
Yo, Balor, does that mean you're also going for Orange Cassidy to win?
You've seen the light.
No. Hell no.
I'm proud of people.
Moxley's retaining the AEW World. He's not losing his first title defense. If the AEW World Championship even exists, because we don't know where the AEW World title is.
I mean, here's the thing. It will not be the first time he lost the AEW title in his first defense either.
Oh yeah, Mox is retaining the AEW World Championship. He's not losing. He's holding it He's holding it in 2025. Probably till I don't freaking know. All in next year. I don't freaking know. He's holding the AEW World Championship. Orange is going to get squeezed dry and at Full Gear. There you go.
All right, Tyler, you're the last one left on the list to talk the AEW World Title match, so let's see what you got.
Okay, so the Death Riders. I gotta say, I think what they're doing with the Death Riders has been interesting. Thanks to this whole creative reset, apparently, that AEW is going through, they're essentially like, oh, this company's in the toilet, so we're gonna change it by force. And I get the whole mantra of that, but by saying the company's basically in the toilet, it doesn't really help with anything if that's the case. Like, it's the same thing that what happened with Raw in 2018. Don't speak about it, sort of thing. Show us what you're doing to improve it. Don't say you're gonna improve it. Just show us that you're improving it. Like, that's the thing. But I think as a story, the Death Riders has been pretty interesting, and I'm intrigued to see how it goes from here. As for the conglomeration, or however you say it,
No, you got it right.
yeah, they've been an okay faction. Like, not really main event as such, but they've been an alright faction. But I think the MVP out of the faction has been Orange Cassidy. I've been saying it for the longest time, but Cassidy has been fantastic. And, you know, just to say,
Yes.
for those people who are uber toxic about Orange Cassidy, for those people who are real dicks about Orange Cassidy, 1, get a shower. 2, go back to playing your damn Elden Ring DLC instead of the real game of the year, Astrobot. And 3, watch some Orange Cassidy matches, because they are
Look at that, you
so
Cornette.
good. Like, seriously, Cassidy is a brilliant talent. He's able to get the job done, absolutely.
That's what I've been saying.
Now-
Like, that's what I've been saying. Like, if you look past his comedy.
Okay,
his
you don't have to rub it in,
gimmick.
Kashawn.
What?
You don't got to rub it in, Kashawn. I was
I'm
wrong.
not talking about you.
Okay, I was wrong. Okay, are you happy?
I'm not talking about you. Like I said, if people would look past his lazy comedic character, where he's lazy and does lazy kicks, and watch his actual matches, they would know that he can actually go in the ring. He can actually go.
Exactly, and that's been the case ever since he arrived at the damn company. But I have to say, when it comes to this, while I would love to see Cassidy win the world title, I think they are building to someone else winning the world title. Preferably at Double or Nothing, but most likely at All in Texas. So I will say I do see Moxley retaining the belt. I mean, think about it. Moxley is the heart and soul of AEW. In fact, I'd say Moxley is the face of the company. Like, I know overall we're at an age in the wrestling business where it's like, oh, you shouldn't have a face of the company, one guy, sort of thing. But if you want to go for that system, if you really are into that system sort of thing, then Moxley is that one guy at the top. Moxley is the face of the company. Now, saying that, I do expect a lot of interference from the Death Riders and the conglomeration, but still, I think absolutely Moxley is going to win, because there is someone who is going to win the belt. Preferably at either Double or Nothing, but most likely at All in Texas. But, you know what, that's for a later time. I'll talk about that at a later time. For now, I'm intrigued to see how this goes.
All right. With that, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our predictions to AEW Full Gear. Once again, it's good to be back on the podcast. We'll be doing this again next week for Survivor Series War Games, and then the week after that, it's going to be NXT Deadline, and then the week after that,
That's going to be right.
and then the week after that, ladies and gentlemen, the return of Saturday night's main event. As not a house show, but it's an actual televised event on a special for NBC.
So.
And we'll also be culminating the year, of course, with the predictions to AEW World's End. Assuming, of course, that any of us will be available to do that. I just want to put that out there because the actual show itself is on the 28th. And as you know, Christmas time, ladies and gentlemen. We all have a lot of shit that always goes on. But, we'll see what we can do for that case, if we're able to do it. But that will culminate the year, and of course, when we see y'all again in 2025, we'll definitely be talking about the Netflix era. Yo, Balor, of course, I hope you're still awake.
Well, yeah, I'm running on 3 hours of sleep, but I'm doing pretty good. It's always a pleasure to be here. I'm glad we're back. I really missed this. I can't wait to do it again. 4 weeks of this? Yeah, I'm ready. Hopefully next week I'll be a lot more awake.
Oh yeah,
I had a great time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you'll be a lot more awake for War Games. But Heel Balor, go ahead and close us off.
Of course, we're the losers, and this is our lounge. Enjoy Full Gear. We'll be back next week, and hopefully I will be awake. Too sweet, the like button down below. Please subscribe to Brother Maracle's YouTube channel. We are the losers, and this is our lounge. We'll see you next week.